Hey there, guys and gals. This is the Nerf Modulus Tri-Strike. So like with the Regenerator, which had a whole bunch of attachments, the Tri-Strike has a whole bunch of extra attachments, but not for the things you would think. It has attachments for the ability to shoot mega darts out of a regular Nerf gun and a stock and missile launcher combo. And I picked this up at Target on super clearance for like 13 bucks. So like, you know what? If I have all these options, I'm gonna use them. I'm gonna use them if I got them. So you can probably see that I have a whole bunch of other stuff over there, but that's just to test out these parts on those blasters. And then I have my magazines and a whole bunch of different darts. So we're gonna test out all these bad boys with it. But first we gotta get it out of the box. Though something I haven't been doing recently is showing you guys what's on the back. Now, the Modulus line, the whole idea behind it is that you can customize the parts based on what you buy. However, unlike the Regenerator, you have to buy pretty much all the parts separately for the Modulus system. The Tri-Strike is cool in that it comes with parts that make one gun be able to fire all different kinds of Nerf darts and missiles. So there's that, which is cool, and just like this set in general will help me, you know, put stuff on all my other blasters, which is great. It's great. Now that you've seen that, let's just tear this bad boy open. We'll tear it right open. So what is actually in the Tri-Strike? You have a stock with a missile launcher, the actual Tri-Strike, the muzzle attachment that fires everything, this pumper, and a 10-round see-through magazine. There's actually some assembly required, so let's figure out what we're doing with this. Also, I just want to point out, this is the first Nerf blaster I've seen, or just blaster in general, that was tied together with like string, as opposed to zip ties. That's interesting. Definitely not going to throw out that string. We'll be reusing that in the future. So, in order to build it, all you got to do is read your instructions, because instructions are important. And you just put it through the hole. Here is the hole. Probably should remove this first, though. Looks like you're supposed to tear this off. Oh, that's really stuck on there. I'll have to do this, though. And it's sticky, that's why. Gotcha. So you stick it through. Come out the other side. And then you put this side on it. And you twist. I don't think it goes all the way down though. Yeah. It looks like there's always some leeway. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, there's always going to be some leeway. But that's how you prime it. Alright, this looks like a proto-Kronos blaster now that I look at it. It is very, very close to the Kronos. It even has the unjamming door up here, though it slides back on the Kronos, it flips up. This is going to be magazine release. It's on both sides this time, so that's good. You can just load up a magazine real quick. As with most Nerf blasters, you're going to have to prime before you insert a mag. And to release it, you have to prime, hit the release, pull out. Pull out. I've used 12-round actual Nerf magazine. This is from the Star Wars blaster. We've used previously on the channel 12-round Tesmigo magazine, We also have these 10-round Busby or Adventure Force magazine. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up one of these, this one, and we'll go with these two with different darts, and we'll make sure everything fires from it just being a regular shot. So I'm going to fill these up with darts, but we're not going to jump to that portion yet. We're going to wait till we assemble the rest of the blaster. Next up, we have the barrel extension that gives you Mega Dart. Oh, seems like the Mega Darts are pumped out. They're air fired as opposed to spring fired, but it's got an attachment lug that I want to see if it fits on everything. Let's see, we've got fits on the Tri-Strike naturally because the Tri-Strike is a Nerf gun. That makes sense. Maybe I'll try messing with it a little while longer. But it does take 4 Mega Darts, but we're not going to shoot those out yet. I have the 4 Mega Darts it comes with, and then I bought a whole bunch of cheap knockoff Mega Darts that look pretty much the same. Again, thing you have to worry about with the knockoff darts is whether or not the caps will come off. That's really the #1 issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load 2 of the knockoffs in the bottom, and I'm going to load 2 of the actual Mega Darts on the top. Finally, we come to the missile stock. This one seems like I can put it on anything that's got a stock extension, and it also fires based on air. So you extend and then you push forward to get the missile to launch. That one's a simple stock extension. You just down, make sure it snaps into place, and if you want to, pull it back. I saw in the video they have, everyone is putting it up against their chest and pushing that way to launch. So you could do that, I suppose. And then you just slide the top part onto any available rail. So it snaps into place. You can also see that if you wanted to, wait, no, that's in reverse actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, it's got its own extension. So if you wanted to just carry the missile launcher, yeah, I'll show you guys. If you wanted to just carry the missile launcher, what you could do is snap it on into itself, and then it's just a single shot missile launcher. But what we're going to do is attach it like it's supposed to be attached. So slides on into place there. Snap that back, and we're just going to load this bad boy up right now. So remember what I said before. Top 2 are going to be actual Mega Darts, which don't seem to be like elite darts. This is my first time actually dealing with Mega Darts. They don't seem to be like elite darts where they have Nerf written on the top, which is a little weird, but okay. So we're gonna load it in 1 and 2. Now, fake Mega Darts. Fake Mega Darts feel much flimsier, like there's not as much stuff inside of them. So that's one way to tell. Other than that, they look almost identical. The Nerf ones have a bunch of rules and regulations across the top. These guys do not. Even the caps feel much flimsier than the Nerf ones. The caps are also a slightly different color, if you can see that. Next up, we did load the 4 magazines. So this Star Wars magazine, we put waffle darts in. This Tesmico magazine, we put X-Shot darts in. This Adventure Force / Busby magazine, we put elites and elite knockoffs in. We went with. In the clear magazine that it came with, we went with AccuStrike darts. Last but not least, we're going to undo the missile. The Nerf missiles are apparently extremely expensive to buy extras of. So I'm a little worried that once this fires and we lose it somewhere during the war, like I'm never gonna have another one. Never ever. I do think it's really cool though that you can basically fold the missile launcher onto itself and use it just by itself. That's really cool. The tape they use for this plastic bag is way too sticky and is just tearing up the baggie. You know me, I like keep everything the way it's supposed to be. So you just stick the end of the missile onto that point, but it is very difficult to see. You want to push it all the way back. Yeah, and there's even another tactical rail on top of the missile launcher in case you wanted to, you know, put a scope on it. I'll push this chair back a little bit. Okay, so we're almost ready to fire. I think first we'll fire the mega darts because it's easy. So you pull out, and then you pump back to fire. That was bottom, so that was a mega fake. Mega fakes fire out pretty well. I did read online that it seems like the top barrels often fire out weaker than the bottom barrels. So now we move on to the missile launcher. For the missile launcher, let's see if I can get all the frame. Let me just move you guys back a little bit. Might be able to get all of you into frame. Pull out, and then you push forward. That missile sounds very, very heavy, and I was not expecting that. Now we're just going to make sure all the magazines are acceptable. So this is we are in the correct position. So prime. The Adventure Force magazine does not appear to fit. Doesn't seem like it's any wider, realistically. This is a Tesmigo one. Just gonna fire a couple shots real quick, short. We're gonna make sure now that it has slam fire. It does. Okay, it's got slam fire. It's also very loud. I apologize. Wasn't expecting that. This one is a real pain to get stuff out of though. I'm gonna try this one more time because so far it's worked with everything else. It does, it just gets stuck at the very beginning. Let's just fire these out real quick. It gets stuck here on the Adventure Force rail. Also, with all the attachments on it, this thing is very heavy. Like, very, very heavy. I don't think I would recommend this for a child. It is very difficult for them to use. We move on to waffle darts next. It's a little primed. This one slides right in. That seems like a tough prime. Seemed like a real tough prime. So you remember how I said this was basically a proto Kronos? So something that is very common on the rival guns is that when you prime the back, well, generally speaking, on the Kronos, there's actually a stop before you reach all the way back. On this, it seems like there's a stop before you reach front. So like there's a lot of force that I have to exert right now to get to the front to actually load the dart. just got to make sure that you're all the way forward before you fire. Oh, I just realized you don't actually have to, you know, exert force to pull the magazine out. It'll just fall out. See? Oh, that's so much easier. Let's see AccuStrikes in action. Alright, so it fires all kinds of darts. You may have trouble with magazines that come from Adventure Force, unfortunately. So to undo it, you got to apply a lot of force. I would say probably right here, right under the pump handle is the easiest way to do it. But what I wanted to check was if this bad boy will fit on other blasters. Will it fit on a regenerator? No, it does not match up with the regenerator. So the Star Wars blaster doesn't have a lug. Can't use it there. That was really my only option for the front, barring I don't get anything else later on. But the missile launcher attachment, however, I could if I wanted to on the Star Wars gun. Because all you need is a Nerf attachment point and then something to stand it up on. Bam! Now I have a missile launcher on my Star Wars gun. Oh yes. And I can even, if I wanted to, put the scope on top. Oh, by the way. No, I was right the first time. Yep, no, it goes this way. Yeah, that's the way it goes. And now it's built this way, and I can put the missile in it, add it to my Star Wars arsenal, if you will. And it keeps with the white color scheme, which is great. And oh yeah, shoot that missile at people. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty darn cool. Getting it off is almost always a problem, however, because you gotta aim up diagonally when pulling it off. What we are going to do though is head over to the firing range. Now that we know what all these different pieces do, I'm going to go set that up, and I'm going to refill all of these magazines, which is going to take me a while. So I'll see y'all soon-ish. Now, as I am kind of worried about the missile and the mega darts hitting the fireplace and breaking anything, I've made a smaller one because I don't have another table at the moment of the firing range, and I'm going to try and hit it with a missile from about 20 feet away, give or take. I think that's a pretty good example distance. I am stocking a missile now, about 20 feet away, and let's see if we can hit it. I'm aiming right for it. There's no real sight on the missile launcher, so we're just playing it by ear, essentially. Or I guess in this case, playing it by eye. Okay, I definitely see now, clearly as you can see, that didn't even reach the cans. I can see now why most people who use the missile launcher press it up against their body, because the shot really gets knocked off when you try and do it by hand. So again, 20 feet away, I'm pushing it back up against my shoulder now. Definitely get a much better shot out of that, and it's pretty accurate if you can shoot at full speed. I will be rebuilding the tower, and we're going to see if we can hit this bad boy with a mega dart. Alright, my 4 mega darts are loaded. I don't actually know which chamber fires first, so I think it's a bottom one. And we are firing that means we'll be firing the mega darts first. I mean, they're all mega darts. We'll be firing the fake mega darts first, but it's bottom first. I'm just gonna try and shoot through it. There is a bit of a sight on the Tri-Strike blaster itself, but I don't think it'll help for the mega darts. I'm gonna try it though. It should be right for the center. It was not. Alright, now I'm gonna try it by ear. So it has fired bottom left first, then top left. So next shot, I'm gonna guess it fires top right. This will be another regular mega dart. And remember, mega darts whistle. So people know they're coming. I was correct. Right now, last one is bottom left. I mean bottom right. I really should learn my directions, man. They are very difficult to aim. Very, very difficult to aim. But they do whistle to tell you that they're about to hit you, which is kind of cool. I'm going to try and use the sights that it comes with to hit the can on the right. This is with muzzle. A little lower than where the sight is. So, not bad, not bad. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we're gonna take the muzzle off now. This is without the muzzle. Experiencing some technical difficulties at the moment. I accidentally pulled the plug off. All right, here we go. This is with the sights. Oh no. Interesting. Nope. I am jammed. Had a misfire. It wasn't actually jammed. It did fire out. So I'm down a dart before waffle darts. Again through the sight. Even lower. It's even lower without the muzzle, so you might want to actually put the muzzle on. But pretty accurate if you aim a little higher than where the sights would be. And you have like a good grip of where it's going to go. Now I'm going to try for the left can. Very close, very, very close. There we go. I think I'm out, but ooh, I was not out. Now. So pretty accurate if you are shooting for where you feel with the waffle darts. Not so much if you're shooting using the actual sights. Next up, we're going to use the other 12-round mag that is loaded with X-shot darts. We're going to use the sights with the muzzle attached. Try to shoot the top can off. A little bit to the side, but that's okay. Now we're going to fire for that one cannon by itself using the sights. Low, pretty low. So we'll go up a little bit. Ooh, this gun is very accurate if you're not using the sights. Like it shoots pretty much exactly where you want. You're going to try and shoot that top can off. One more and then we'll switch. I think I actually did one too many, but very accurate. Oops. We'll do that. And do this. It's still, you really got to break in taking the muzzle on and off. All right, so this is without the muzzle. I'm going to use the sight, try and hit that standing can in the center. Very low. I'm just going to do it by feel. Seems to be better for me. super low. The muzzle definitely helps the X shot darts if that's what you're gonna find. Out of X shot. Moving on to the leads. If you're using the Adventure Force mag, you definitely have to wiggle it a little bit to get it up and in. But then after that, it seems to work fine. Putting the muzzle back on. This is 1 with the sights. Low, very low. Very, very low. Super high. That wasn't a Nerf brand, so that might have something to do with it. Taking the muzzle off. Load it up. Firing with the sight. Super low. Just gonna go by feel. Elites fire really erratically, like they're not going anywhere where I want them to go. Finally, we're going to load up the actual mag for the Tri-Strike, filled with AccuStrike darts. Attaching the muzzle. Using the sights to try and hit that one pin by itself. Ooh, that was higher than normal. Still pretty low. 3. Not the one I wanted, but I'll take it. 5. All right, taking off the tapping off the muzzle, going for just the Tri-Strike. Sights, super low. Feel like I was robbed on that one. Boom, I think that was the last shot, and we took out the whole tower. Yup. Perfect. So what are my impressions of the Tri-Strike? All right, my first major concern is how difficult it is to get the muzzle off. Like, you have to try really hard. All the other guns that I had muzzles on, I just had to be like, ugh, and it would come off. But this guy, I basically have to shove it up against my chest. Here, I'm gonna show you. Just shove it up here, and then like pull as hard as I possibly can to get it off. And like, you can see it's actually scratching away from the hole where it leads in. Like, the paint has chipped off on it already because you have to push so hard to get this on and off. I feel like this would be a much better attachment if you didn't have to break it in so hard. You have to break it in so hard. Though I will say, if you can see in the muzzle, it actually does improve your accuracy. So for once, this is a useful attachment. Unlike a lot of the other ones where the barrel just makes the dart go crazy or knocks the dart off course. This one is actually super useful. My favorite thing is definitely the fact that the missile is pumped via the stock, but the fact that you don't have to attach it to a gun at all. You can just pull it off, take the top part off too, if I can ever get it off. These parts, man, they like really jam in there. I'm a little worried that they're gonna break because they really jam in there. I love the fact that you can just use it like this if you wanted to. That it's just its own missile. Like, you don't even need to use it as a stock missile. That's super cool. The actual blaster, I kind of like the ergonomics of it, but I also kind of don't. I love the fact that it is very, very, very clearly a proto-Chronos. Like, they definitely built off of this model to make the Chronos. or maybe vice versa. I don't know which one came out first, actually, but it is definitely built on basically the same chassis. My only major complaint is the way it primes. I absolutely hate this. I hate this with a passion. I like that you can pull it apart for storage because that would get in the way, but oh, I don't like this system at all. And I thought you were supposed to screw it on, but no, you literally just grab it and you push down, and then you got to make sure that you don't pull out into the side when you're priming or you get stuck. I thought I had a jam, but it wasn't actually a jam. It was just that I didn't have it back all the way. So like I said before, you have to be careful when you're using the tri-strike in the prime that there's a spot before the end. I was right. And there is also a spot before the beginning for when it's totally in place. So it's going to take some getting used to, but the slam fire on it is actually pretty good. A lot of blasters that I've gotten my hands on most recently have terrible slam fire. This one is pretty good. To use the extra parts right now takes a lot more effort than it should because of the way they're made. Like they fit so snugly. And that's probably great in the long run, but if you're trying to use all these attachments in a war and you're trying to swap between them, you're gonna have a bad time. Especially if like it's a new blaster. Like this is a new blaster for me, so it'll be very difficult to snap things on, snap things off in the fray, if you know what I mean. You get it? Like that's gonna be really difficult. One thing I'm thinking of doing though is if someone wants to use this, I'll use the stock from, I think it's the Strife. I can attach to this, which holds an extra magazine, and I'll put the muzzle on to improve the accuracy of the AccuStrike darts or Elite darts or whatever you want to put in the magazines. And then I will also use the Mega darts on it. And then the missile, I think, is actually more fun to use with the Star Wars blaster than anything else. So I might put this on the Star Wars blaster and use it on there. My only issue is that I only have one of these missiles, and they are apparently very expensive to buy extras of, which sucks because they're really satisfying. I'm gonna do my best not to shoot any children during the war with these because I'm pretty sure they're gonna hurt. If you get a full like shoulder press on one of these missiles, I'm pretty sure it's gonna hurt.